All right, we're live, and this is awkward. My video setup is through Ecamm, and for some reason, I'm unable to connect to Ecamm, which is why it looks different, why it doesn't have the overlay, why it doesn't look as I don't look as pretty, and which means we don't have the 2-minute timer buzzer that's going to go off. We don't have nothing. This is the beauty of live streaming, and this is the beauty of doing things, starting something from scratch. You got to get all the kinks out. It's not even really a kink. It's just for some reason that product Ecamm isn't connecting. The software isn't connecting. Anyway, I think it's hilarious because every time you do something new, man, there is opposition. I guarantee you. I know how this stuff works, so I'm not surprised. That's why I'm running late. So I'm going to have my phone go off for 2 minutes, and then that'll go off on a timer, and then I'll fake it by pushing the disclaimer. It's called a workaround. But we're still here. We're still able to talk to you. So let's start the time. There's no music in the background, so that'll be weird. We start the timer. There's the timer. I'll hold it there like that. So we're talking about guitars as an analogy for the Holy Spirit. And we mentioned, oh, geez, look at this. Now I'm getting a spam call. I love it. You got to love it. This is awesome. Guitars as an analogy for the Holy Spirit. We talked about how the guitar, the body of the guitar, the neck, the fretboard, the tuning, the headstock with the tunings, pegs, that's all the Holy Spirit. The strings are the gifts of the Holy Spirit. And we mentioned speaking in tongues, healing the sick, casting out demons, raising the dead, as well as prophecy. And then you can play those strings. They have to be tuned properly. E, A, D, G, B, E, and then you can play notes. And then when you do a combination of notes, you create chords, right? Well, somewhere around, and this is where we left off yesterday, somewhere around the second century, literally between the first and second century, predominantly throughout the 4th and 5th century, the church started losing the understanding that they needed strings on this guitar. They never got rid of the guitar per se, but they definitely lost the fact that they needed strings, how to tune the strings, and then how to play the strings. And depending on where you were and what level or aspect of faith you were at between the 2nd and 5th century, determined how soon you didn't have strings on your guitar, or how soon you had untuned guitars, or how soon you only had 2 or 3 strings on that guitar. And eventually, you just had people walking around with guitars and no strings.
The views and opinions expressed during our broadcasts are solely those of the broadcast producers, hosts, and/or guests, etc., and are not necessarily the views or opinions of the Travelog Network, its sponsors, or affiliates.